Now let's look at the math key on your calculator. So I'm going to hit the math key, and you're going to notice there's all kinds of functions in here. So let's just start the fraction key. Let's say, for example, that we wanted to convert 0.25 to a fraction. So this fraction key will convert decimals to fractions. So let's say I type in 0.25. Then if I hit math, I can either hit 1 or I could hit enter. But in either case, when I see the frat key pop up, I'm going to hit enter, and it converts it to 1/4. Now let's assume that I want to type in like 1/2 plus 2/3. Now the answer is going to be 7/6. Let's see what the calculator will do for us. So let's say we type in 1 divided by 2. And by the way, notice how I type in the fraction. I just hit the 1 and then divided by 2. Plus 2 divided by 3. Now let's say I hit enter because I forgot to convert to a fraction. That's fine. I can still hit the math key. Then I like to hit enter, then enter again, and it gives us the answer. Another way we could type that in is 1 divided by 2 plus 2 divided by 3, and then we could hit math 1 enter or enter enter. So either way, it will do fractions for you. So it will convert decimals or fractions, or your final answer to a fraction, just depending on what you want to do. Now I'm going to clear this out. Let's look at the math key. Now I'm going to scroll down just a little bit, just so we can see what's in there. On number 3, there's a cube key, so you can use that for the exponent 3, or you can use a caret and then the 3 for the exponent. This is the cube root key, and this is the x root key. So I want to talk about those for a second. So let's say, first off, let me show you what I'm talking about when I'm talking about square roots and cube roots. Let's say you want to find the square root of 16. Now if you look on your main display, you'll see above the x squared key is a square root key. So what you want to do is type in the square root key first, and then the 16. And you don't have to close parentheses, but I highly recommend it. Then enter. Let's say that you want to do 4 squared. So you can do 4 squared that way, or you can do 4 squared this way. Now the reason why I showed you this is because I want to show you cubes. So for cubes, I can type in 5 to the 3rd. That's 5 cubed, in case you're wondering how it looks. This is what I'm really doing now. So if I do 5 cubed, I can type it in that way and get 125. Or I could do this. I could hit 5, the math key, and notice number 3 is the cube. I can scroll down and hit enter, or I can just hit the 3. Either way, and it brings up the exponent 3. Then hit enter and you get 125. Now let's say that we want to do the cube root of 125. Now in order to do that, the main way you want to do it, just click on the math key. Notice that on number 4 we have a cube root, so we'll hit 4 and then type in 125. Close, don't have to, but you should. Enter, and it gives us the answer. Now the real question is, what happens when it's above a cube root, a higher order root? So let's say we do the 4th root of 16, and that's your question. Now let's look at the math key. Now notice there is no 4th root key, but there is an x root. So keep that in mind. It was an x root. So the way we're going to type in the x root is, whatever number we type in front of it on the calculator, it sees that as the x. So for the 4th root, I can hit the 4 first, then the math key, and then I'm going to hit number 5, and then I can hit the 16. Now what the calculator sees, it sees the 4th root of 16. It sees that 4 is being taken in place of the x, and the answer is going to be 2. See that? Because what that means is 2 to the 4th equals 16. Now one of the main reasons why you want to know how to do this, let me erase this out right quickly. I need some room. I'm going to show you a problem that you can type in. You have to be really careful how you type it in, but I'm going to show you how you can type it in on the calculator. Let's just go a little crazy with it. Let's do 3 squared plus 9 over 8, or 9 times 8, over, let's do the fill through of 32 divided by 2. I'm going to type that in, and you have to be really careful how you type that in. For one thing, I want to make sure that the calculator does the numerator first and then the denominator. So this may not be the best approach, but this is one way. So I'm going to hit parentheses, and then 3 squared plus 9 parentheses 8 close parentheses, and then I need another parentheses, because what that is, I want to make sure that the calculator does the whole numerator first before it does the division. So then we'll hit divide, and then parentheses, and then we'll hit the 5 math key, 5 for the x root, 32, and then divided by 2 close parentheses, and it gives me the answer of 81. Now what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to do it again, but this time I'm only going to do the top part first, so I don't have to use all these parentheses. So let's do 3 squared plus 9 parentheses 8, and I easily could have used times the 8, in case you're wondering. So I hit enter, I get 81. Then let's do the bottom. So I got the fill through of 32, which means I need to hit the 5 math, and then I can scroll down or just hit 5. I'm showing you different ways you can do these. 32 divided by 2, enter, and we get 1. And then if you just be consistent with what we're doing, if we hit 81 divided by 1, we better get 81, which we do. So there's just some features of the math key. I don't really think there's anything else you need to use in there for most of your classes. So, by the way, you can go up and down. So if you have any questions, ask your instructor.